On small businesses as drivers of jobs, sustainability and economic resilience. The Absa Kenya Foundation, in partnership with GOtv, launched the Circulation and CirculaRising program, an initiative targeting women and youth-led MSMEs within the circular economy. The program aims to bridge gaps in financing, skills and market access, enabling enterprises to grow sustainably while tackling environmental challenges. Our reporter Michelle Njeri is live at the launch with more details.
All right, a very good afternoon to you, Linda Alela. We continue with our coverage here at the launch of the CirculaRising program, an initiative that aims to focus on strengthening women and also the youth within the circular economy. With me here, I'm now joined by Charles Wakabi, the head of sustainability and corporate affairs at Absa Kenya. Karibu sana katika runinga ya TV 47.
Nashukuru sana.
Okay, how are you feeling today?
It's been a really fantastic day, and I couldn't be more excited than this morning to see the launch of something that we've been working on in the back rooms for a very long time. A partnership between Absa Kenya Foundation, the GIZ, as well as Africa Guarantee Fund, to put together this really exciting program that's called CirculaRising. CirculaRising is a program that seeks to solve two problems at once, at the same time. One is a problem of supporting and generating growth for SMEs and MSMEs, and on the other hand is to deal with the incremental challenges that we are seeing in the climate, caused by climate change, and therefore CirculaRising brings these things together in that it focuses on MSMEs and SMEs that are doing work and whose business are built around the circular economy, and those are SMEs that either deal with waste or produce a lot of waste, or are involved in recycling and such other practices. And this program will help us to come together, join hands with our partners, come together with these SMEs, take them through, structured capacity building for a period of 2 years, provide access to sustainable finance for them, and finally provide mentorship, around inculcating sustainable business practices. Why is this important? It is important because if you consider our economy today, the biggest drivers of job creation in this country is SMEs and MSMEs, and a lot of them have struggled, over the years with certain things such as access to affordable and sustainable finance. And so when we came together as partners, we said, what might we do to support this segment with the ultimate goal of creating, more jobs? And so the direct outcomes of this program are many, but just to mention a few, from an environmental perspective, we target to have about 6,000 tons of waste recycled. This program will touch about 2,000 entrepreneurs from across Kenya, directly creating an estimated 1,000 green jobs. And when I say 1,000 green jobs, I mean people that are working specifically in the climate space, and a further 6,000 jobs, to be enhanced in terms of the employment conditions, and so far and so forth. And our estimation is about 30,000 people would be indirectly and directly, impacted positively by this program. So we are really excited to see it launching, and calling on SMEs out there to head out to Absa Kenya, website today, begin to do your registration. Let's come together and ensure, that you're involved in the movement, and that we can work together to create one big movement that will ultimately be successful and create, incremental number of jobs for our youth.
All right, you've nearly answered all my questions, but okay. Allow me to ask, what kind of capacity building or skills will the SMEs receive?
Yeah, so it's a technical and non-technical. So when you go to the circular economy space, there are specific technicalities, that are involved there. How do you collect waste? How do you recycle it? How do you manage it? How do you manage the value chains in there? And so there'll be a bit of the technical part of the training, and then there is a non-technical, part of the training, which is about building the right business structures, ensuring that your business is formalized, that has got the right policies, you're hiring the right people, you have things like the right marketing practices, things that are not technical but are critical in driving a business's growth. And these two components then unlock the third component, which is the access to financial support. So our study from engagement with many SMEs and MSMEs, we have found that access to finance is, yes, a big challenge, but it's not the biggest of the challenges. In fact, the biggest of the challenges is the readiness, and the capacity that our SMEs and MSMEs have, their readiness to be invested in, or their readiness to receive funding. So much so that in many instances, you've ended up with businesses that have received funding, and that funding ends up becoming a burden because either you're struggling with repayment, or you've struggled with management of that funding. And so the non-financial support is a critical part of development because it allows us to spend time with them, talk to them about spending habits, budgeting, how do you budget, how do you grow your revenues, how do you grow your sales, and how do you build the right governance structures within the business, so that at that time when you now can receive funding and you've received the funding, the questions around your ability to manage that funding in a way that provides return for you as the investor and continues to grow the business, those concerns are out of the way. And so that's really the structure of this program.
For someone who's hearing about CirculaRising program today, where do they start from if they're interested?
Yeah, so if you're hearing about CirculaRising program today, first of all, across all news, across our social media sites, across our website, you can find out a lot of information about this program itself. There is what's published there today, and there is a lot of more stuff that will be published. On our website today, we'll have a form that you can click on, register, enter your business details, and the team in the background, will reach out to you, and they can engage with you to better understand the nature of your business. Where is it based? What kind of activities is it involved in? Does it qualify, as a business within the circular economy? If it doesn't, but has potential, how do we help you to accelerate that potential? And if it qualifies, then how do we work together to help you just get better within that business? So there's no perfect place to start. Yeah, I think it's to get in touch with either ourselves, with GIZ, with AGF. We've got already two implementing partners of this program, Yunus, as well as Bob Inc. These are partners that we brought to help us in the implementation journey. And so reaching out to any of these partners or parties will open the door for us to continue engaging more, and for us to really get to know you and to see which areas of intervention your business requires, and therefore then we can work together and make that a reality. Asante.
All right. There you have it. Sorry. There you have it, Linda Alela. We will continue giving more updates. Of course, there'll be more updates on my report tonight at 9 p.m. Daily Report. Well, as for now, I take it back to you in studio. Over to you, Alela.
All right, as they would say, there is no specific place to start. How about you reach the mountain and get to enjoy the benefits? Thank you so much, Michelle, for that. And we now cross over to a different affair where we pay some bills.